So I'm going to break down for you the 5 steps that you need to master in order to start your online coaching business. If you are a holistic practitioner looking to get into the online coaching space, making content and speaking online, this is the video for you. I'm going to break down exactly how this whole game works and how you can get started adding this new revenue stream to your practice. My name is Andrew Ng, and I'm a doctor of acupuncture and holistic life coach. And I've been through the journey of treating tons of patients until I got burnt out. My first job was at a place where I was treating up to 50 patients a day, and it was exhausting. I was getting paid 30 bucks an hour and $1 per patient. So if I saw 0 people, I would make 30 bucks. If I saw 10 people in that hour, which I had done, I would make 40 bucks. But then I got my first job in San Francisco, and that was the first job I got. But then after that, it seemed like the industry standard was about 40 bucks a patient. And at the next 2 jobs that I had, I got burnt out because I was giving so much because I didn't feel valuable. And I realized this is the ceiling. There is nowhere else to go. I eventually got some more jobs that paid me a little bit more, and I learned how to relax and treat patients without burning out. But through this process, I learned a valuable lesson. My favorite part about treating patients was the education. It was teaching about the lifestyle changes they could make to prevent this problem from happening or to further improve the treatments that we were already doing. And I realized that with some patients, they weren't interested in doing any of the self-care. They wanted to just come in and have me fix them. That's when I realized, oh, wait a second, I'm like another form of medication. They just spend some money, don't make any changes, and then I make the problem go away temporarily because the real problem of their lifestyle choices had not been resolved. That's when I realized all of the knowledge I had about self-care was actually the answer. And to educate people outside of the treatment room was the way that I could really create massive influence to help people at a larger scale. And that's when I found the world of coaching. Motivational speaking, online entrepreneurship. This was a place where they consistently got people to do things that they didn't naturally want to do. They talked about discipline, about accountability, about overcoming limiting beliefs, about how to start a business when the whole world trains you to be an employee. My disillusionment of having gone through 4 years of acupuncture school to come out and realize that there was no path of progression as an employee and that the only way that I could create real wealth in my life was to become an entrepreneur. I had to figure out this online coaching stuff. And it came with a host of problems. I had just finished school. I had just learned how to become a fantastic clinician. And now you want me to learn about speaking on camera, coaching people, making offers, posting on social media, doing sales calls. It was so overwhelming for me at the time. And I had massive amounts of resistance to learning these new things. But I got coaching. I spent tons of time, money, and energy on learning these skills. It was basically like going to school again. Went to networking events, tweaked and honed everything to now where I help practitioners like you improve your ability to speak on camera and influence people at a larger scale. For example, one of my clients, who within her first month of coaching ended up making $9,000 more than her previous highest amount of monthly revenue, going from $12.8 thousand in a month to $21.8 thousand in a month. And it was all based on what we had talked about before: overcoming limiting beliefs, getting used to posting on social media, having more confidence in raising prices and having sales calls. So I'm going to break down for you the 5 steps that you need to master in order to start your online coaching business. The first one is speaking. Your ability to communicate your value, to teach your patient or your client about what you do, how does it work, and how can you help them, really helps set the tone and the frame of your expertise, professionalism, and authority. I'm 36 years old right now, but I probably don't look it to you. I probably look like I'm in my 20s. And I've heard this for so many years. And many people would come in and challenge me on how could this young guy know anything about health when I was treating people who were in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even in their 90s. And the way that I instilled confidence into my patients was through my speaking ability, through communication, being able to describe my background, my education, what I'm going to do, how is it going to work, and how is it going to benefit them, and breaking down in really simple terms, how does the medicine work, and what are we going to be doing in this session. Number 2 is coaching. Coaching is all about helping people through communication by guiding them through a process to rewire their mindset into a more empowering state, to hold them accountable to the goals that they said they wanted to achieve, to challenge them with compassion on their limiting beliefs that are holding them back, and to teach them the skills that they haven't yet learned. That's what we're doing right now. And you can't forget about the power of asking powerful questions. Like, when did you realize that there was a cap to how many people you could help with one-on-one treatments? At what point did you start realizing you might have to start making videos and getting into the online game? Or what are you going to do to make money when you get sick or go on vacation and everything at the clinic has to stop? Through coaching, you can provide greater value to your patients while you're communicating on the table, and also create a method of helping people virtually online through your knowledge. Helping teach somebody about why they might not have to worry about their pain or their illness so much already helps them relax enough for the healing system to already get better. In acupuncture terms, we would say releasing the liver qi stagnation. Number 3 is offers. An offer is how we're organizing our services in a way that appeals to the psychology of the customer and makes it easy for them to buy. I think as holistic practitioners, we want to jam as much information as possible. We want to talk about all the different conditions we can treat, all the different services we have. And if you go on most people's websites, you'll see a whole bunch of information and jargon that we know as practitioners, but the customer doesn't really know. Simplifying your offers is like putting together a 3-month coaching program, or a 6-month coaching program, or having a group coaching offer, or a course on low back pain, and maybe combining these things together to create a premium package. Simple, effective, and easy for the customer to buy. An example of this might be a 10-pack you sell in your clinic. A 10-pack of services. That's like a type of offer that makes it easier for your customer to buy more of what you're selling. Number 4 is social media. I know social media didn't always exist, but now it does, and it's a big part of how we interact and how we do business in the modern age. And the problem is holistic medicine is very in this other realm over here. We're going with the flow, we're empathizing, we're feeling, we're just interacting one-on-one with our client. And social media might feel like a whole other beast. We gotta set up a camera, talk to a camera instead of a person, post things and figure out the technology. I know it was an issue for me to want to get started because it felt like a whole thing. And it took me a while before I started developing my process of how to make it easier to create content, put it together, and put it online, and build that muscle of content creation. And I'm telling you that there is a process, a way to make it easier so that it's not so overwhelming. It can actually be a simple process that is actually fun because now you get to share your knowledge with the world. You get to talk about things that you're really passionate about. You get to show people what you do in the treatment room instead of people just reading your bio and trying to extrapolate that information. I know in the field of acupuncture, I think we're behind the curve behind other professions. Chiropractors are dominating the online space because it's so satisfying to see an adjustment. People in the fitness industry are huge because you can see their muscles and how fit they are and the different exercises that they're doing. Now, the value we can bring if you are a different type of holistic practitioner, or if you're one of these ones that I just mentioned that hasn't gotten into this space yet, there's so much we can do. And if you're still watching this video, you're probably getting value right now. And the last one, number 5, is sales. Sales was the biggest thing for me because I had a lot of misconceptions about selling and what it was. In the doctoral program, I heard so many other students talk about it's not about the money, it's just about being a good practitioner. The money will come, you just have to get word of mouth referrals and it's going to be so easy. But those were always from people who had already established practices from when they rented an office 15 years ago when it was a lot cheaper and things were simpler. We're playing a different game now, and if you're a newer practitioner, you're probably realizing it's not so easy in today's age of saturation and competition. So the resistance you might have about selling can be reframed when we think of selling as a service. The healing is already starting once we start selling. We're always selling. When you're educating your patient about how your healing modality works, that's already selling because you want to get them on the treatment table so you can help them with their pain and then they give you money in exchange for that. When we realize that selling is less about convincing somebody and more about listening and understanding where they're coming from so that we can present a solution that can truly help them, we're doing them a service and we are already starting the healing process. Because they're feeling heard. They feel like somebody really understands them. They feel like this person can help me and that there may be a path out of my suffering. The problem is, some people might be scared to spend their hard-earned money. And the process of selling is in helping somebody feel safe through that process of spending money and taking the risk on you as the practitioner to help them. You already know you can help them once they're on the table. But the beginning of that process comes with the sale. So to recap, we talked about speaking, coaching, offers, social media, and sales. These were the 5 things that I was incredibly resistant to in the beginning of my journey, but have since embraced and have learned to enjoy as part of the process of helping people feel better. And now I find great joy in helping other practitioners learn these skills. Because I'm still a healer at heart, and I want to help people avoid going through the same suffering that I did to learn all of these things in the first place. I've learned to love business, love entrepreneurs and the people in this space, and to help people like you who might be starting out so I can teach you what I always wanted to know at the beginning of my journey. Now, if you want to learn more about me and what I do, you can check out sunbeamclinic.com. Like this video, and follow for more content on how you can start becoming a more confident speaker and coach in the online space as a holistic practitioner. I'll see you in the next video.